How everybody doing out there? I'm here with a quick video on this tie-in with my financial literacy video I just did not too long ago. First, I'm gonna start with the definition of rich. Definition of rich is having a great deal of money or assets. That's the definition of rich. Wealthy is like the word happy. It can mean something different to the person who's describing their wealth. You know, some people felt, they did a survey, I think it was like 41% of people they felt they was wealthy because they was able to go out and eat, or they could purchase Netflix or Spotify or shop on Amazon Prime, you know, have a account with Amazon Prime. So wealthy can mean a whole lot to different people. But in the sense that I'm talking about, wealth is what you obtain, the assets that you obtain that was take the place of your primary job, and you can use the money off your assets to pay your bills. Let me give a quick example of what I'm trying to explain. All right, to me, when I'm thinking of wealthy, is only 1%. The 1% at the top, they average $436,000 a year. That's their yearly salary. So if your yearly salary is under that, you're not in the 1%, the top 1% of America as far as wealth. But that number can vary depending on state. I think it's 100,000 less if you lived in New Mexico. So that'd be 436,000 in New Mexico. So it might go up and down depending on the state you're in. Probably go up in California, probably go up in New York, a little bit cheaper, North Carolina, you know, places like that. You understand what I'm saying? Okay, but the survey showed that the amount of money needed to be comfortable in the United States is anywhere between 1.4 million and 2.4 million. Comfortable living. And that's another side of wealth, to live comfortable with that amount of money. All right, now back to the definition of wealth that I want everybody to understand. All right, which is common sense is not common, because we didn't see too many athletes struggle with this problem. Just because you have a lot of money doesn't mean you have wealth, because one thing that I think most people don't take into account to is the bills that you already have. If I have $1 million, we just gonna do this real quick. If I have $1 million, and out of that million, I mean, that's all I have. I don't work, I don't do nothing. Well, that million will slowly go down because I have living expenses every day. I have to eat, pay bills, and you know, things of that nature. So my million per month, per year is gonna slowly decline. And especially if I don't have no income coming in. That's what happens to most millionaires. Most people who hit the lottery overnight, or most entertainers or NFL or NBA players that lose their money, is because once the checks stop coming in, only thing they are living off of is their bank account. They refuse. Most of them don't work. They live a luxury life. Like, to go from nothing to now you're in the millions, you're going to accumulate a lot more bills that's going to be costing you monthly. So this is my definition of wealth. Wealth is the money that you have off the assets that you accumulated to be able to live a free life. I mean, to be able to live a comfortable life without having to get a job. So if your monthly bills are $1,000, your monthly bills are $1,000, and you lost your job today, the question is, how long would you be able to pay your bills before you have to get a job? Now, wealth, to me, it is how long you can live off your assets and don't have a job. So, like, if I have stocks, I got enough stocks built up to where, say my stocks yield me $500 a month, but the total of my bills is $1,000 a month, where I'm only $500. I only have $500 worth of wealth. I need to work to make the other $5 to pay my bills. So if so now if say if my assets yielded $1,500 and my bills is still $1,000, then that means off my assets, I'm able to continue to pay my bills and I still don't have to work because my assets are generating that much money to where I can just take the little bit off the top and pay my bills and keep it moving. To me, that's wealth. Wealth is when you don't have to rely on a bank account or you working physically to continue to pay your bills. Most people don't understand that part of wealth because they think of wealth as having a bunch of money. That's not, yeah, you're wealthy for a little bit when you have a bunch of money. But how long is that going to last when you have monthly bills coming out of it? Expenses is higher cost of living is every year. So $1 million this year is not the same as $1 million in 5 years from now. It's probably less. So one thing that's why I'm trying to stress the importance of getting you some assets, meaning stocks, bonds, rental properties, you know, things of that nature. There's plenty of other things you can do that can generate you some wealth. Buying paintings that appreciate in time. You know, things of that nature is what the average Joe need to start focusing in on. Because one thing I think all of us is focused in on, I was too, until I started doing the research, was the fact that I was thinking having money meant you was wealthy, when that's the total opposite. Having assets means you are wealthy, because your assets can help you live the life that you are living, even if you was to lose your primary job. Even if you have a primary job that is paying you well, understand this, even if you have a primary job that is paying you well, if something was to happen today and you lost your job, how would you make ends meet? Would you have to get another one? Or could you depend on your assets? I know if I lost my job today, I will have to get another one because I'm just starting to build my assets now. And so it ain't had no time to be able to yield me enough to cover my bills. So as I'm learning the information, I'm trying to give it out to everybody else. And we can take this step together, step by step. Every time I learn something, I'm trying to put it out there for somebody to help them on their journey to get to where they need to go. We need to focus on getting assets and not liabilities. Buying your brand new car, liability. A house, not so much. Clothes, liability. You know why? Because that can never make you nothing. That car, it loses value as soon as you drive it off the lot. Them clothes, they only fit you, and once you wear them, ain't nobody paying the same price you paid for them. But hey, if you bought stocks can go up and down, but over time, stocks is always rising. Or you can buy a rental property and invest your money into that, put somebody in it, take the money that you're getting for that and invest it. Or the person who's living in your house, say if something was happening to you, where their money is actually paying your bills, but you got to have a good tenant. So it's a whole lot of nuances that go into being wealthy and things of that nature. But at least I can give you the first start of my take on it. So if you got any feedback or anything else to say, leave me a comment at the bottom. I'll be